Hey, this is Justin from Experiment of Me, and today I want to show you guys some useful equations that you can use to plan out various investment strategies that you want to work on. Okay, so the first one, what we want to do is we want to figure out what a future value of an investment will be based on a monthly investment and an interest rate and the number of years that we'll leave it invested for. Okay, so we'll start out with the monthly amount. And then next we'll have the interest rate. And then we'll do the number of years. And then we'll enter a present value in case you're already starting off with some money. And then we're going to figure out what the future value is. Okay, so in this case, the monthly amount has to be entered as a negative number. These spreadsheet programs, they all seem to have the same functions that they do, and they all need this to be a negative number. So we'll enter the monthly amount as a negative number. Let's say that we can do $200 a month, and the interest rate, if we invest in the stock market, let's say that we pick an index that has a 9% return. So we'll say 9, and then we're going to leave this in there for 20 years. Let's say that we're starting with a present value of $5,000 that we already saved up some money. Okay, and then we want to figure out what the future value is. Okay, so then to calculate our future value, we're going to use the function button, and we're going to go into financial, and we'll scroll down to future value, or FV, and then we'll say next. And for our rate, so that's going to be B2, but this, in this case, needs to be a monthly rate. So we're going to divide by 100 because it's a percentage, and then we're going to also divide by 12 because we want to make it a monthly rate, not an annual rate. Okay, N per is the number of periods, and so this will be C2 times 12, because we're doing a monthly payment. And then the payment will be A2 present value is going to be D2, and then we say OK, and that gets us our future value of $103,000. Okay, so you can see that putting $200 a month for 20 years, if we started with $5,000 already, that would get us $100,000. So in order to get in order to accomplish big goals, we need to do kind of significant amounts of monthly contributions. So another equation that that I want to show you guys is how to figure out the monthly amount given a future value that we want to have. Let's say we want to set a goal for we want to have a certain future value. Okay, and so we'll start off with the present value, and then we'll have an interest rate, and then we'll do the number of years, and then we'll type in the future value, and then we want to calculate the monthly amount that we need to contribute. Okay, so for the present value, we'll do 5,000 again. For the interest rate, we'll stick with 9. We'll do 20 years. Let's say we want to have $100,000. And for this, we go to equals, and then we click on our function button. We go to financial, and in this case we want to go to payment, so that's this one, and then we'll click next. So for our rate, again it's going to be B6 divided by 100 divided by 12. For in per, we're going to do C6 times 12. For our present value, that will just be A6. And then for our future value, that's going to be D6. And then, so we can see our result right there. So we'll say OK. And we would need to contribute $194.71 per month if we were going to do this for 20 years at a 9% interest rate to get $100,000 goal value. Okay. The last equation that I want to show you is how to figure out a time frame. So let's say we have the monthly amount that we want to contribute. We're going to take a guess on the interest rate, and we have a present value, and then we have our goal future value that we want, and then we're going to figure out the number of months. And then we'll also do number of years, because sometimes that's a more useful number. Okay, so our monthly amount we're going to say is minus $200. And interest rate, we'll go with 9%. Our present value we'll again say is $5,000. Our future value, let's say we want to do $200,000. And then we're going to calculate the number of months that it takes to get to that value. Okay, so we'll click our function button and we'll pick financial. And then we'll go to in per. And then we'll say next. So our rate again is 9%, but then our cell B10, and we'll divide by 100, and then also divide by 12. So we get a monthly interest rate. The payment is going to be A10. Our present value will be C10. And then our future value, our goal value, will be D10. Okay, and we can see our result right there. So we'll say OK. So it's 314 months, and then to calculate years, just do equals E10 divided by 12. And that'll get the number of years. So we'd have to do that for 26 years to get to the value of $200,000. So these are some equations that I use to figure out and plan for, how I'm going to get a certain amount of money in the future based on values that I can work with now. Okay, and you have to make some assumptions about the interest rate, but that's just what we have to do. I mean, if you don't make those assumptions, you can't plan at all. So you need to make some assumptions put your plan in place, and then you can calculate what you might be able to get for a future value. Okay,